You're listening to Bedroom Beethovens, where notable music makers break down stories accompanied by songs and melodies documenting growth through their 10,000-hour journey. And me? Well, my name is Cello, your host.
I am a bedroom Beethoven.
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 82 of the podcast. From Flint, Michigan to Texas, my guest this week is...
I go by NAMELESS from Flint, Michigan.
Let it breathe for a minute.
I produce tracks with Clear Soul Forces, Lyric Jones, Blue, Guilty Simpson, Black Milk, Name Tag Alexander, just to name a few.
Don't sell yourself to fall in love. All those things you do. She said that she could be well-grounded, keeping me focused. Make sure I keep going and not to deviate from my goal list. I'm grown, ain't trying to end up alone and old. And you ain't trying to be a well-owner alone at home. What's on your heart and your mind? We can have a discussion. Say you having difficulty when it come to trusting. Word, I listen and emphasize. Cause I know how it gets through relationships.
Veteran producer Nameless has a lot on his mind from the tumultuous year that was 2019 carried into 2020, which I don't even need to tell you how horrible this year is shaping up. But he's keeping his head up, and on the other side of dark times, he's creating some of the best music in his life, truly. And we chat about those times. We chat about feeling vulnerable. We chat about having imposter syndrome, defining his footing in the beat-making arena, and the untimely fallout of Clear Soul Forces, street corner music, and all things Detroit. Not saying there was a fallout, but relationships change, people evolve. His drum kit is freshly available, and his new tape chips is on the way. In the meantime, connect with your boy on social. Instagram is Bedroom Beethovens, Twitter is Bedroom Beat Pod, Patreon.com/Bedroom Beethovens to support, and BedroomBeethovens.com for the overview. You get all that? Good. Not to sound like a broken record every episode, but I have to plug the goods so you can find your way to them. This is a special episode for me because one of the first vinyl I bought when the resurgence happened in the early 2010s was Nameless's fully produced body of work with Clear Soul Forces Fab 5. 5 years later, I get to sit down with him. I think it's an opportunity one can only have if he creates a podcast, I suppose. So here I am. Here he is. Let's get into it. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm excited that there's another Texan on the show because now we can talk about how people go into HEB without masks and complain.
Facts.
Well, what's funny is, so back in February, you tweeted, I just need a tour manager or something. I need to start getting paid on the road doing what I love, which couldn't have been worse timing, my dude. I'm so sorry.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I at this point, everybody feel that way, no?
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, at the least, I hope you're still sticking to the weight loss though, because it's hard to relapse or pick up unhealthy eating habits when you're home all day.
Oh no, actually, I've been doing good. Actually, I dropped 50 pounds so far. I'm like 15 pounds away from the goal weight. I mean, I haven't been eating like a slob or whatever. I still been moderating what I eat. You know, I get up to walk daily. You know, I drink a lot of water. So I mean, I've been doing good.
Well, I think my biggest thing with this is like I'm 35. You know, I got 2 kids. I'm dealing with this time the best I can. But I think the biggest issue I'm having in my 30s is like having lost friends over this. Like there's a side of the coin where I'm figuring out during quarantine who's really there for me. And since March, when this quarantine broke out, you know, I've had friends for over 20 years, and I haven't gotten one text from them asking me how me and my family are. And I don't know how to take that because this is a once in a lifetime thing we're experiencing. And then on the other side of the coin, my single friends can't relate to my lifestyle now as a husband and a father, combined with lack of free time. So it's just rough all the way around.
I think it's just a mixture of emotions. Like we in a new ass pandemic. Like I don't think people know how to deal with it right now. I think people still in shock. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, I can relate to that. And did this affect or disrupt any day jobs that you might have had?
For me, no. Actually, I've been on a leap of faith journey before this pandemic even started. So
So you were a truck driver at one point, right?
yeah. I used to drive trucks. I've stopped last year, got laid off or whatever. But yeah, I used to drive trucks. I've been driving trucks for like I started in 2015 and ended in last year.
Is this the kind of truck driver where you're home 1 week out of the month, or you're home every night?
This is like when you like home for like a few days and then you back on the road. You know what I'm saying? Like I was doing over the road, so I was driving all over the country. You know what I'm saying? So I barely had any home time, and when I would go home, it would be for like 1 or 2 days tops, and then back to it.
Well, so how did you balance that with music and home life and all that?
Well, I've brought my laptop and beat machine with me, so every time I would get rid of a load, well, be done with the load, and when I would have to park, I just play the beats until I fall asleep, pretty much.
Yeah, my brother's a truck driver, and he tells me like everyone, and I mean everyone, is either having failed relationships or divorced, and you can't help but think that no matter how good your communication skills are, it's hard to hold down that job. Albeit it's a respectable and you're providing for your family, but it's kind of hard to nail down the blueprint on how to keep the home life steady, your work, when you're only home like 25% of the month. And this goes for soldiers being deployed overseas, or you're
Facts.
touring the world as a musician, or whatever it might be.
Facts.
So it's hard.
That jobs like those, it does come with a price. I mean, it's a hard pill to swallow. Like some families wouldn't be able to deal with a loved one being gone for so long, and then when they come back, it's only for a short period of time. So like most people would know how to handle that, and then other people are understanding of it. You know what I'm saying? They just know how to roll with the punches better.
And aside from that, you're a pretty good artist as well, but not the kind that goes into people's Instagram comments and advertise your design services for 25% off. I mean, a real artist.
Appreciate it.
So let's run that back. So you see a music video like "This Is America" by Childish Gambino. You're watching that video, or you're seeing Jada Pinkett invite her husband onto a show to talk about her stepping out on him. What inspires you to draw those things, like your subject matter?
To be honest, I'd be bored, man. I am bored. You know what I'm saying? And then at the time, it was hilarious because it was a whole bunch of August Alsina memes going on that I couldn't help but to, you know what? Let me let me get this idea out of my this funny ass idea out of my head. So at the time, I was just like, I didn't think it was going to get that much attention. Cause I just do what I normally do. I just post some art and just post it on my Instagram, and then I just keep it moving.
What's your feelings on that? Did everybody's stock go down? Did August stock go down? Did Will Smith's stock go down? Do you think that was a very unique way to handle a situation like that?
To be honest, it didn't hurt the Smiths at all. If anything, it put more light on them because I mean, wasn't August Alsina's whole objective was to promote music in the first place? Because if I'm not mistaken, he did come out with a joint called Entanglements, right? Just out of nowhere, right?
Kind of like Ray J's "I Hit It First."
Yeah. I think he was like the only person that was able to capitalize off of affair, and it made a song off of it. You know what I'm saying? And then Ray J's his joint was more blunt anyway. It was like, hey, I hit it first. You know what I'm saying? Like August, he just came out of nowhere with a joint just called Entanglement.
Yeah.
And then you only came out with that because Jada said it.
But like you said, like you post something and like your art goes viral, and it's a gift and a curse, right? Because your art is good enough to go viral, but once the internet gets a hold of it, you don't get credit, and it spins out of control.
That's like another thing. It just comes with a game. It's just something us artists got to deal with. Like for example, that "This Is America" joint I did, like that joint was vandalized so many times. Like I've seen so many weird, stupid memes with that thing on it that didn't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, and even and I had my old art logo on there, which was small to the point that it goes overlooked. So that pretty much made me like redo my watermarks. Like I had to make a whole new logo, bigger logo with that.
Roll with the punches. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, just gotta roll with the punches. Like it just sucks because I feel for every artist that goes through that. It be a whole lot of people, and I'll go on my timeline. I see a whole bunch of people posting arts of that I know that my homeboys did, and they don't give them credit. And I be trying to post in the comments like, "Hey, such and such did this." Like, show them love. You know what I'm saying? Like, I be trying, but it just be a whole lot of people that just just don't want to give people their credit, man.
Well, that's how I felt. Artists do it. Producers, even on like cover art or something, you don't really see the producer getting.
My homeboy back here, he's shaking his head like he, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, that's a whole nother thing. Like, to be honest, I think that's kind of dying down now. I think like people are really. I think the producers are starting to get their respect like they should have been years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, like Jay Versace, you know what I'm saying? With the whole West Side Gun, he hooked Jay Versace all the way up. Even named the song Versace. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the type of love that producers be dreaming for. You know what I'm saying? So I just wish more of that happens often.
And I mentioned we're Texans at the beginning, but you grew up in Flint, Michigan. Is that where you credit growing up?
Yeah. Well, I was literally born in Minnesota and then moved to Michigan, and then I was raised in Flint until I graduated and then moved to Texas.
Okay, so I just wanted to kind of see the date on the city, and in 1979 there were 85,000 auto worker jobs in the city of Flint, and now there's 100,000 people total in Flint. And obviously you don't live there anymore, but if you grew up there, it seems like you got to experience Flint during the better years.
The better years as far as Flint in general, because like you got to be specific when it comes to when you say better years, because Flint is for years Flint has been like top 10 most dangerous cities. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I see. When you live outside of that bubble, Flint didn't get much attention until the water issue. For me,
yeah. Because Flint been an issue way before the whole water thing.
But was that water crisis that had nothing to do with race though?
No,
but that's the way the media span it. Like they wanted you to think it.
Of course they would. I don't know why they would do that, but the whole water thing that had absolutely nothing to do with race. I don't know who would even try to spin it like that, but no, that's ridiculous.
Flint was buying its water from Detroit in an effort to save money. They switched their water source to the Flint River, which isn't known for being clean, and the water required additional chemicals for treatment to make it safe. And these more aggressive chemicals corroded the lead service lines and caused lead contamination. But at this point in the story, when I read that, it's like, why are they bringing race into that? Black, white, brown, yellow, purple. It doesn't change the fact that Flint was broke and they looked for a cheaper water source. So I don't know. Maybe Flint it just has poor suburbs, or they were neglected by Michigan because there's no money to be made. Maybe there's no economy, but only the bad parts are highlighted in the media. And I just never understood that.
Yeah, that's a bit of a reach if you ask me.
But before there was Michigan and Texas, did you move to Florida?
That's when I met up with my ex-wife, because she's from Florida or whatever. And I had moved to Chicago for a short period of time, and we were dating at the time. And that's when little Gav was born, and so we moved to Florida. Florida's actually nice. And if I would have moved back there, I would move to Orlando. Yeah, or either Orlando or Tampa, because I was staying in Tallahassee at the time. But then again, the whole truck job, I was always gone. So
And then where did college in Texas and Fort Worth, where did that kind of balance in?
well, I went when I first moved to Texas. I went to college in Houston. So I don't know much about the college life in Fort Worth. I mean, well, Fort Worth, Fort Worth is like quiet, more of a more college town with TCU and all that. And when I moved to Florida, I was just working, So
It's interesting you say that 2015 is when you were trucking, because I think that was the year that I blind bought the Clear Soul Forces album. They were signed to Fat Beats, and I remember I used to visit Fat Beats, and I didn't know much about them. And on the front cover, it had your name, and because it said Fab Five, I thought, and this is just a naive, I thought you were a permanent part of the group. But in later iterations, it went back to the core four. Can you help explain that situation? Was it a one and done, or something's happened along the line?
it was kind of a situation. I don't want to talk like I know all the facts, but what they was telling me, because it was supposed to be like a solid group thing, like Fab Five. That's me and Clear Soul Forces. That's a whole group in one. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't even supposed to be produced by Nameless because everybody knows I'm in the group. You know what I'm saying?
And it sounds so nice. Hip hop, you the love of my life. We about to take it to the top. One time for the boom bap, a combination backpackage up with a rap. And it sounds so nice.
But they were in a situation that had to get like an album out of the way or whatever. They used Fat Five as part of their albums, and they just included produced by Nameless at the bottom. It's way more complicated, but I don't know all of the facts, but yeah, it's pretty much along the lines of that.
Yeah, because they had a producer, Elijah Day, who he felt like he was gaining steam as a producer, but he's a producer, and he stepped back and let you take over. Was that an awkward situation?
That was part of the plan. Like he always wanna rock on my beats. Like every other day he hit me up like, yo, send me some beats. You know what I'm saying? So that was just on some homie shit or whatever. Like if I was a rapper, I'd rap on his shit. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of people have egos where they don't allow that, so I'm glad that you two are you can coexist like that and collaborate.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. But yeah. Me and Elijah, they like we be having like before the whole Fab Five joint, we was having like IG battles. You know what I'm saying? Like back then where the clips were like 15 seconds. You know what I'm saying? We would have like 15-second beat clips just battling each other. Like, hey, Nameless, you can't do this. Yo, Elijah, you can't fuck with this shit. You know what I'm saying? So we been fuck with each other's beats or whatever. So, and then it was a no-brainer that it was going to be the same way when we linked up to do the Fab Five shit. So
back then, like you're using like the trial version of FL Studio versus the full version.
Yeah. Shout out to Fruity Loops. I started using FL Studio, the draft version. I want to say 03, 04, 05, one of those years. And I just been on that until I got to the Native Instruments machine. But along the years of using FL Studio, that's when I made Beats Original 1, the 16-bit Beats Original 2, and the Moonwalker Project and all that stuff. I've been on FL Studio, the draft version. I didn't even have the real joint.
So if I want to buy a beat from you present day, how much am I looking to spend?
Oh man.
You don't have to get specific, but am I in the four figure in that range?
Oh no, I'm not that expensive.
Because in 2009, when you dropped those tapes, you were only charging $100 a beat.
Yeah, and I still kind of charge around that range, but I charge for like adding stems and of course I charge more if the person want ownership or whatever. So yeah, I'm not expensive when it comes to that.
Damn. Well, what people don't realize, like when we're talking about Beats Original Volume 1 and the 16-bit project, they don't realize how heavy of a project that was, right? Because if you released that, you were vulnerable at the time. If people said you were whack or this tape was trash, you might have accepted that criticism and quit because you didn't build yourself up as a producer yet.
That and also, you got that on the nose, because when I released Volume 1, you know what I'm saying, I was just testing the waters, you know what I'm saying? Like, I thought I was straight, and the homies that's been around you, they always going to say your shit is dope, but like, I want to hear what a person that doesn't know me at all will have to say. Yeah, when I put that out, it was kind of it was kind of stressful because what I'm saying, I didn't know what to expect. I just put it out there.
Yeah, because you released MJ the Moonwalker project a year before the Man in the Mirror mixtape produced by Mark Ronson and Rhymefest came out. And then the 16-bit project was marred by comparisons to DiBiase. So it's almost like you can't create a project without saying Simpsons did it first. You know what I mean?
All right, we cool here.
MySpace, Facebook, Black Planet. Oh, no. You know what? Yeah. I lost one or two of them.
I actually had a person DM me on some hate shit. He was like, yo, are you trying to sound like DiBiase, man? Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to tell this guy, man, your shit is whack.
Now, I was blessed with a brain and a dick, that's fine. Only got enough blood to use one at a time. If you in the giving head, we'll be using our mind. But my girl got home at 6, we can't be losing the time. All men cheat, don't act like it's a new thing. I got numbers and try to disguise them in dudes' names like Anthony, Angie, Timothy, Tammy. I'll be back, I'm going to see my home.
And then little does he know that I ran it by DiBiase. when I released the 16-bit, because I've been heard of DiBiase, and when I heard his shit, I've already had like video game sample joints in the tuck already. When I met him on MySpace or whatever, I was like, oh shit, this shit is pretty fly or whatever. So I reached out to him on Twitter and told him like, yo, huge fan, I fuck with your shit. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I got 16-bit, want you to hear it, you know what I'm saying, out of respect, you know what I'm saying? Because I think he was like the only person I heard doing video game flips at the time other than myself. You know what I'm saying? So he hit me back, was like, yo, this shit is dope. I fucks with this shit. So I mean, technically I received DiBiase's blessing to put it out. You know what I'm saying? Because if it wasn't for him saying that the shit was dope, y'all wouldn't have even heard of 16-bit.
I feel like when you directly reach out to an artist to either talk or collab or do business, you're putting your pride aside. Is it more times often than not that it's become a bad experience at your expense?
That's kind of like a difficult question. I mean, because like you said, like people do be like having pride issues, like they way too proud to, you know what I'm saying, reach out. Or some people, they might be scared of rejection. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've had those moments, like I'll be scared of rejection, or I feel like, who are you to tell me that my shit is not this or not that or whatever? So it just goes with pride and ego that people just got to put aside. That's all.
Has it gotten better? I mean, when you're directly reaching out to artists?
Yeah. I have no shame in reaching out. Like, I've been reaching out to everybody. Like, I reached out to Stolen Drums and we tight. I reached out to Iman Amari and we tight. You know what I'm saying? And it was all, I reached out to House Shoes, we tight. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I have no problem just reaching out to people that I respect or people that I think that's dope. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, if you sit down and you play Shoes, Adobe Illustrator, sweat has to be forming on your forehead waiting for his approval.
Yeah.
Nobody gatekeeps the legacy of Dilla harder than Shoes, you know?
Yep. Yep. I was definitely anxious to see what he was going to think about that. And by the grace of God, he fucked with it. He actually, that was the first beat that he heard from me. And he said that shit flipped his wig.
And you were the first act signed to Street Corner.
Exactly. That's crazy. That's crazy how it worked out, right?
What was the first tape that you released on the label?
On Street Corner Music? It
Yeah.
was House Shoes Presents The Gift Volume 1.
So The Gift Volume 1 was sold out online the week before its physical release.
Way before the physical release. That's crazy.
And when you get shine from someone like Questlove, are you able to bankroll a compliment into an opportunity to work together, or you kind of back off, take the compliment, and try not to press things and turn general admiration into ruining it with a request? You know,
It's like when times like that, it's like times like that where you just gotta stay humble, man. To be honest, because the average person he will take that and get the biggest head ever, and then shit will just go downhill from there. You know what I'm saying? So with me, it's I just do my best to remain humble. You know what I'm saying, and just take the compliments, remain humble. You know what I'm saying, say thank you and all that, and keep it moving. You know.
well, being born the same month as Dilla that he was born and died in, it must be kind of eerie when you think about it. February 26th specifically, you share the same birthday as Johnny Cash, Michael Bolton, Erykah Badu. It's a special day.
Yeah. If you don't have the same birthday as Erykah Badu, man, don't talk to me, dog.
I got the same birthday as Ghostface. Does that count?
Huh?
I got the same birthday as Ghostface.
Oh, okay.
If that
Well,
counts.
you good. I can't say shit to you, bro.
Well, this Chips album though, it's not on Street Corner, right?
No. This is actually coming out on Inset Records. Shout out to Inset Records. Distributed through Fat Beats.
So why is that? Is the relationship with Street still good?
Yeah. We always good. I was talking to House Shoes last week or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I shot him my first drum kit and all that. Yeah, we talk all the time. It's just been decades since I've like sent him any more beats, because I will always be on the road working or whatever. So he will always tell me, "Hey, send me some shit," and I will always mean to send him some shit, but it was always a time consuming situation. So now that I'm not, on the road anymore, now I actually have the opportunity to work on some new shit and to send them a whole folder. You know what I'm saying? Because that's been past due.
But now that you have the opportunity to sit down and focus on one project without all these distractions of being on the road, a lot of ups and downs came with this project, right? I'm going to use your words because I have no idea. But if I'm out of bounds, let me know. But you said that you almost wanted to end your life. You lost everything. And the beats for this project were the only solution for you to stay sane. And that's a heavy statement.
Yep, it is. It is. I'm just going to say 2019 and 2020 has been some interesting and challenging years for me to get to that dark place. But, thankfully I, talked my way out of it, or snapped out of it, you know what I'm saying? And I just, like I said, I stuck with the beats. I've just been making beats daily, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I tweeted like that. I think I tweeted like some of you producers do this just for fun. I tweeted because it's all I have left. You know what I'm saying? I remember tweeting that because it was true. You know what I'm saying? Like I literally had nothing left. Like I got laid off, had some issues with the job. Like jobs wasn't hiring. Only thing I was doing to stay sane was doing art and making beats. Through the process, it got me to making some good beats at that.
But you've had the name Chips, the name of this album, in your head for years. It was even on the bag that Michelle Pfeiffer was holding on Indica Sativa. I mean, now you're going through this dark time. I'm sure the project has evolved over the years. Do you still want to name it that? Are we still dealing with just grocery store background samples? You know what I mean?
Yeah. At this point, I look at Chips as my own version of Donuts, as my own version of Supreme Clientele, as my own version of Confessions or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Chips is because as a person, if you know me, I'm a lover of Chips anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm always going to be that random guy that's going to just blurt out the word Chips anyway. So it was inevitable that I was going to have a project coming out called Chips.
I thought the new tape Sup was your love letter to Dilla, because there's no beat that's longer than 2 minutes by design, I'm sure.
Well, Sup was just, you know what I'm saying? Sup was just some extra joints that I had in the tuck after I finished the project Chips, because Chips been done. You know, Chips been turned in already. We gotta deal with the whole hold up because because of the whole COVID thing. You know what I'm saying? So during that time, being patient on getting the actual release for Chips. So I just been doing what I've been doing, just making beats, and then I don't know, I had some pretty cool joints just piled up, and was like, all right, well, let me release this, because I know it, because it's been a minute since I released anything. You know what I'm saying? I think since Gas Money with Larry Jones. Shout out to Larry Jones.
All right. Well, before we get out of here, so Chips is the upcoming tape. Body Slam drum kit is out now. Is there anything else you want to let the people know about?
Be on the lookout for 40 Acres too, man. We coming out with some shit too. 40 Acres Records. Follow them on Instagram and Twitter.
What else can I say? I mean, this isn't the best year to tell someone that they're killing it, but you're certainly making the best of a terrible year, and I'm sure you will be rewarded by your peers and fans alike when this new music drops. I'm sure.
And I'm hoping. I'm hoping. But I appreciate the kind words, though. Facts, though.
Hey, man, hit me up when the PS5 or Xbox One X drops, and let's get on some games together.
Yeah, man. What? Hey, how much that shit cost? Did they say it?
They didn't say, man, but I'm guessing it'll be like $4.99. That's what I'm guessing. And what I'm also reading is the generations are going to be shorter, so they're not going to release like these mid consoles like the PS4 Pro and the Series X. Instead of consoles coming out 7 years apart, they're going to shorten it to 4 to 5. So they're going to make more expensive consoles out the gate and more powerful, and then they'll shorten the length, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm reading.
Oh, yeah, it kind of makes sense. Yeah.
So if you're paying $400 for a PS4 and then 3 years later you got to spend $400 on a PS4 Pro, they're trying to cut down on shit like that.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. That makes sense now. Yeah.
But yeah, man, hit me up, and I appreciate your patience and I appreciate your time above all. Thanks, man.
All right, man. Likewise, man. You take it easy, man.